Guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome to Her Online Brand, where we teach young entrepreneurs how to start a done-for-you service provider business, and I'm happy to have you today. In today's video, I'm going to tell you 5 reasons why Facebook groups are killing your business. There, I said it. Now, if you have followed me for any amount of time, you know that I am a huge advocate of Facebook groups. I love Facebook groups for getting clients, for meeting new people, learning new skills, and just being generally friendly. But recently, I noticed that a lot of people are using Facebook groups the wrong way, and because of that, it is killing their business. Now, I'm going to tell you 5 ways I have seen virtual assistants and creative entrepreneurs use Facebook groups that is ruining their business completely. If you want to find out what those 5 things are, stay tuned till the end of the video. The first mistake that I see people make on Facebook is joining the wrong Facebook group. Now, this particular point cannot be overemphasized. Facebook is a huge platform. It has billions of users, and it can be used to your detriment, or it can be used to accelerate your business. Now, the first thing people do is join the wrong Facebook group. This is really bad, because what you end up doing is spending valuable time that you would have used to prospect for your business or grow your business in the wrong Facebook group. For instance, if you serve coaches and course creators, there is no reason for you to be in a group for e-commerce entrepreneurs, because you're just hanging out in a group because you would just be hanging out in a group that none of the clients are for you. You are not learning anything from that group to add to your business personally. You are not serving the people in that business, and it's just another Facebook group, which means you have one extra notification that you have to split your brain time with. Now, you need to figure out who you serve, the clients you want to work with, who that ideal dream client is, and then you go look for where they are. So if you're somebody who works with coaches, you need to join groups for coaches. Then you know that everybody that hangs out here, at least up to 50, 60, 70% of them that hang out in this group is a coach in one way or another. And that way, you know that you're hanging out in a place where your ideal client can see you and want to work with you. You want to stay away from groups that don't add anything to you. For example, in my Facebook group, I get requests all the time for people to join. And sometimes when I go through those requests and I want to approve new members, I find out that some profiles are in 250 groups, 350 groups. And the first question I ask myself is, how on earth are they keeping up with all of these groups? And if they are not, why are they in all of these groups? It makes no sense. You want to make sure that if you are in any group, it is a group that either adds value to you or you add value to. You don't just want to keep groups for the sake of keeping groups. So I want you today to go through all the groups that you're in and ask yourself, when last did I post in this group? When last did I even read a post from this group? And if it doesn't serve you, or maybe it served you in the past but you have moved on, maybe you're in a different phase of your life, you want to take out those groups so that you can focus on groups that you can actually give value. You don't want clutter in your life, and you don't want to waste your time on things that don't profit you personally or in your business. The second mistake that people make is locking in Facebook groups. Now, I have a friend that has been in business for over a year, and she has hardly posted anything in any of the Facebook groups that she's in. Quite all right, she gets clients from the group, but she hasn't posted anything. And there was a day I was asking her, why don't you post in the group? And she was like, no, I have posted. And I'm like, no, I have never seen a post from you. And if somebody is your friend on Facebook, if they post inside of a group, you usually get a notification. And then I proceeded to tell her that this is not a good practice for your business, because you only show up in the comment section when somebody says, I'm looking for somebody to hire. That means people don't remember you, people don't see your face often, and you just look like every other virtual assistant out there. Now, if you look inside of Facebook groups, Facebook has added these features where you get badges inside of the groups based on your level of engagement and interaction. Now, something that can keep you up to your toes is to make sure that you try to get most of those badges, as many badges as you can. Let it be like a small competition between you and your business and yourself, or maybe your friends in business, to try and get at least a conversation starter badge, because that makes you show up as somebody who is active inside of the group. And when you make posts, that badge shows beside it, and psychologically it's really subtle, but it gives people this impression that you're somebody that is of authority inside of the group. So you want to post as much as possible. Now, I'm not asking you to take a copy of your WordPress blog and just verbatim put it inside of someone's Facebook group. And number two, I'm not asking that you go against the group rules. Always adhere to the group rules of any group that you find yourself in. But you want to engage and give content as much as possible so that you show up in the groups, which is why the first step of this was to make sure that you're in the right groups in the first place. So stop lurking, stop hiding in the shadows, stop being shy. The beautiful thing about the internet is that nobody is going to come to your house and say, hey, I saw your post on Facebook, who are you? We're all behind our keyboards, and if you're feeling a bit shy, you can be comforted in the fact that nobody is going to come look for you. You're just another profile, well, until you become popular and people become friends with you. So I want you to go out today and make a new post on your favorite Facebook group. You can introduce yourself, you can talk about how you help people, you can give a free tip, or you can just help somebody who is asking a question inside of the Facebook group. But the more you do it, the better you get, and of course the more visible you get. The third thing that I noticed that people do inside of Facebook groups is spend their time on the wrong thing. This is something that is a huge pet peeve of mine, and it's something I noticed, and I made it a point of notice to not do this thing inside of Facebook groups. Now, if you hang out in any reasonably large Facebook group, you know that at some point there will be controversies that will come up, and there will be what I call useless conversations will come up. Now, I see a lot of people, instead of spending valuable time growing their business, looking for clients, or just bettering their business knowledge, I see them arguing inside of Facebook groups. The beautiful thing about business is that there is no one way to get something done. I believe in service-based business. I feel like everybody I believe in service-based business. I believe that anyone can start a service-based business tomorrow, and if they put their back into it, they'll be able to scale it into whatever they want it to be. It has low entry costs. You really don't have to get any kind of special certification to get started, and it's a good way to get a new side hustle or even a full-time job or business. But then you see that in Facebook groups, a lot of times people have different opinions about how things should be done, or in my case, the one I noticed the most is about what tools to use. Now, I run an agency at Funnel Tech Geniuses, and we build sales funnels and we help with launches for coaches and course creators. Now, there are so many software out there that you could use to build your business, and people have preferences, opinions based on their budget or whatever criteria they choose. But you see people come inside of Facebook groups and say, this versus this, which one do you think is better? And then you find one lady there spending 20-30 minutes arguing why she thinks hers is better. Now, those kind of posts can be a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing in the sense that you can actually showcase your expertise. I have gotten a lot of clients just from giving my opinion about what I think is the best software for people to use, because that is really like the niche that my agency works in. But you don't have to turn it into a petty argument or a fight. And the second biggest complaint or controversy that happens inside of service provider groups is how much should you pay a virtual assistant? I always see this happen. Somebody will come in and say, I want to hire a virtual assistant and I have $2 per hour, and then you see people going on and on about how $2 per hour is too low, how could the person be heartless, and this and that, and yada 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 yada. Now, is $2 an hour too low? Yes, I agree it is too low. But does your complaint change anything? The answer is no. It doesn't add anything to you. It doesn't add any dollar to that hourly rate. And to be honest, there are people living in different parts of the world, and there are people that are starting at different points in their business. When I started at $15 per hour. Now, for somebody in the US, $15 per hour may not necessarily work, and they might want to start at $30 per hour. It's a personal preference. But when I started out, I was very shy. I knew nothing about online business, and to me, it was a blessing that somebody would even consider paying me $15 per hour. So as much as those hourly rates are ridiculously low, the person that is asking for help, that might be their budget, and number two, it might be an opportunity for somebody who is an absolute novice to get their foot in the door. They can actually start a business and get somebody to pay them $1 for what they do. I don't advocate that you should stay in that kind of position for a long time, because it will be draining mentally, emotionally, and obviously financially. But sometimes it is a good way to get started. I have seen people come and say they want internship that are unpaid, and they want you to work a minimum of 6 months before they will start paying you. There are different kinds of things on the internet, but you don't have to waste your time arguing about those kind of things. If you want to leave your opinion, you can type it out, post it, and then you move on. But you don't have to spend a lot of time arguing back and forth, insulting the person. Some people go as far as messaging the person privately to insult them. It is just unnecessary, and frankly, it doesn't tell well about you and the way you handle your business. You just seem like somebody who is petty, and now clients are like, if this is how this person behaves, I don't want to work with them, because if something goes wrong, this is how they will go gallivanting all around the internet saying all sorts of things. So that is something you want to keep in mind. The fourth thing that people like to do is very similar to lurking, but in this case, all they do is comment on job posts, and they comment the exact same thing. Whenever somebody asks for whenever somebody says, I'm looking for someone to hire, they just go and post the same one line: I can do this, message me, or DM me, PM me. Now, this is it's a horrible practice. You sound like a robot. You sound like someone has no personality and has nothing to say. Now, depending on the kind of group that you're in, some groups allow you to post your website link or a link to your Facebook page or whatever, and other groups restrict them. Now, depending on the rules of the group that this particular thing may have been posted, you can decide how to respond. Now, you don't want to respond with something so generic that you just get lost in the crowd. You want to respond with something that actually catches the attention of the person you want to work with. A simple way to do that would be, number one, to tag the person inside of the comments that you are commenting on to get their attention. Number two, put in some thought into the comments that you write. So you can write that, hi, I am somebody who works with this person, and this is a service that I offer. I would love to work with you. You can find my website here, and I would also love to send you a message. Is that all right? Is it okay to PM you? Now, I like to leave it open-ended so that the person can respond, and I know that the person has seen my comment. That way, you are sure that whatever you're doing, you are actually prospecting and the person is seeing you. Number two added benefit is that it's good for SEO. Now, sometimes we forget that people actually search things on Facebook. So if somebody later on is searching for something on Facebook inside of the group, or just on Facebook in general, sometimes your comment will pop up because of the things that you have written inside of your comment, and it's a very, very good way to get clients. I have had people message me from comments that I made up to a year ago, and that is really nice when you find out that a Facebook comment you made is what brought somebody to you today. So that's something that you should really avoid inside of your business. And the fifth and final thing is that because people are inside of Facebook groups, they start thinking small. Now, when you start out as a virtual assistant, Facebook is a very easy way to get clients. Facebook groups, you get to form relationships, you get to meet new people, and you get to get people that will pay you for what you do. The problem that arises after a while is that people tend to stick to just Facebook groups. So you're just inside of the Facebook groups, you only work with people from the Facebook groups, you only respond to job posts inside of the Facebook groups, and that in itself is a problem. A while back, I can't remember when this happened, but probably last year, there was a day that Facebook was down completely. Nobody could post anything, nobody could log in, people were having so many issues. It was like for an entire day. Now imagine if your entire business went down because Facebook is down. That is not something that you want. You want to be able to get clients from all different sources. So if you will get clients from LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, your website, you should have marketing efforts that get leads in front of your service every single time. If that means going live on your Facebook page, if that means having a YouTube channel where you give tips on your expertise and that leads people into your business, that is an amazing idea. Now, you don't want to limit yourself to Facebook groups just because you're either getting referrals or you're getting good responses from clients when you send in your proposals. You don't want to get so comfortable that you start thinking small and you forget to see the big picture. Remember that you started your business so that you can have freedom and that you can have the life that you want. And if you limit your business to just Facebook, that might not happen for you, because the day something happens to Facebook, your entire business is down. So those are the 5 reasons why Facebook groups might be killing your business. And I want you to ask yourself, do these things apply to me? Am I making the same mistakes in my business? And how can I personally fix them. So I want you guys to tell me in the comment section which of these things you're going to change in your business if you're making the mistakes, and if you have any extra tips that you would love to share with the rest of the community as to how you're using Facebook groups to grow your business, feel free to leave them in the comment section. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so that whenever a new video comes out you get a notification, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.